Motherhood. Hi guys, that's right, today we are talking about parenting and more specifically motherhood because, no, I'm not pregnant, obviously. Because yesterday, by the time you see this video, yesterday was Mother's Day in France. I know it's different in other countries, like Switzerland in the US was a few weeks ago, for example. But this weekend was Mother's Day in France. I thought I could chat about motherhood and stuff like that because literally I had no other idea for this video, like this week's video. I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I have things planned for the next 3 weeks, but they can't be up right now. So anyway, motherhood. If you asked me a few years ago, like before I turned 20, especially when I was a teenager growing up, I was so sure that I would never ever have a kid. And that's not because I don't want a child, that's just because I felt like I wasn't qualified, or I wasn't deserving of creating life and bringing up another human being, because that's a big responsibility. And back when I was like around 19 or 20 years old, I dated a girl who was so against having children, like her own offspring, if that's a word that we can use for humans, that she was actually considering and like undergoing medical procedure to get her ovaries, not her ovaries removed, but her fallopian trunks, is that what's it called? Fallopian tubes, there we go. Tied or whatever, like something very drastic to stop having children. So that had me questioning, am I that opposed to having kids? The answer is no, not anymore. I used to think about my mom having kids because my mom had me when she was 24 and 5 months, and I am now 24 and 5 months. So if I was my mom, I would be about to give birth to me, if that makes sense. So yeah, that used to be really terrifying for me because I felt like 24 was too young and I wasn't ready. By the time I was in my 20s, I knew that I eventually wanted a family and children of my own, but I thought that 24 was way too young to have a kid, and I thought my mom was crazy. Now that I actually have a job, I have a degree, I have my own place, I'm doing adulting quite good. I mean, I pay my bills, I'm cooking and cleaning, and I'm doing all the things an adult should do. And I'm doing it quite well. Well, I mean, I'm managed. I think I could be ready to have a child. And that's also because I'm in a relationship with someone that is a bit older than me and who really wants children. So that helped me. I was like, okay, if you do want kids, then I think I'm okay with it. So we've talked a little bit about having kids eventually in the future. We've talked about like who's going to be carrying them, because obviously being in a lesbian relationship, that's a question you have to ask yourself. That's not really sorted yet. I'm not particularly opposed to carrying one child, but my girlfriend wants two, and for me it's like, if I'm gonna be carrying them, I'm doing it once, so it better be twins, or else I'm not doing that another time. The other solution is that she carries both, obviously, or is that we adopt, because that is also a very interesting solution. Interesting. Don't like that word. The thing is, to me it's quite important that the kids are, if we do have 2 kids, it's quite important that they are brother and sister, because they already are going to have a weird family having 2 mothers. So if they are brother and sister, I think it could make it a bit easier, but that's just my opinion and maybe that's not true. So my girlfriend would like 2 kids. I would be fine with 1 or 0. She actually said 2 or 3, and I was like, no, it's gonna be 0, 1 or 2. That's it. If you want more, we'll get dogs. Baby names is also a thing that comes up in conversation when we are talking about our future kids, because I mean, we already argue about the names of dogs and like pets, so I can't imagine like actually having to pick a name for a child. So I thought I'd give you like a glimpse of the list that we have. I really like one of my favorite name for a girl, and one name that from the first time that I thought about having my own child, I thought that if she was a girl, I would name her Ariane. Just the French version of Ariana, like Ariana Grande. But my girlfriend made me realize that it does sound a lot like Aryan, like Aryan race, the Nazi thing, and now I can't think about anything else, so I think that name has been ruined forever for me, which is sad because it was a name that I really liked. I also really like Alizé, which is a French name for a very strong wind, but is also a girl name, so I really like that. I also really like Aurore, which means dawn. That's a name that I really like as well. 3 names starting with an A, 3 French names, and I think we talked about having names that could be pronounced in both of our language, and sadly those 3 are a bit difficult for my girlfriend to pronounce, so yeah, that's probably not going to be names that we end up using if we do have kids together. That was 3 girls' names. For boys, I really like Robin, which is actually a name that we can pronounce, that both of us can pronounce, so that's good. I really like Tristan as well, which we say it a bit differently in French, but Tristan, that's the name that I really like as well. My girlfriend is a bit more into old school British names. So for girls, we have Elizabeth, which could be shortened to Lizzie, which I'm like, okay, but that's the name of the actual Queen of England, so not sure about that. Another one of her favourite is Victoria, or Vicky, which I actually really like, because Vicky can be short for Victoire, which means victory, and I think that's a really cool name for a girl, so that's actually one name that I wouldn't mind if we end up using that one. Lizzie, not that sure, but Vicky definitely. For boys, she has names such as James or Arthur or William. I actually really like James or Will. Will a bit more than William, because William sounds really formal for a baby. But yeah, James and Will are quite strong names, I like those. That was just literally me rambling about possible future with my girlfriend, which is a bit weird to have on camera, but yeah, I felt like it was a cool thing to talk about, especially on Mother's Day. My camera is really annoying me today, but yeah, that was me rambling about kids and motherhood. So happy Mother's Day to all of you out there who are mothers. I don't think there's a lot of you, because my YouTube analytics seems to show that you are quite a young audience. But if you're a mom, congrats, good job, and keep bringing up good children in this world. If you're my mom specifically, happy Mother's Day, Mom. Sometimes I know you watch, so happy Mother's Day. And if you're just watching because you like hearing me talk about random stuff, such as the children that I may have in the future, well, thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking by until the end of the video. If you liked it, feel free to give it a like. You can also click here to subscribe to my channel so that you get notification every time I upload. You can also go click here to go watch last week's video. And I'll see you guys next Monday with a very special vlog. So stay tuned for that. Bye!